The current pandemic has caused worry, stress, anxiety, and fear in many Americans. And the mainstream media has been happy to broadcast division, conflict, worry, and fear 24/7, 365. But we're not the only nation that has been drastically impacted by the pandemic. There was a study done by the National Library of Medicine, and this study concluded that fear and depressive symptoms in the general population of Bosnia and Herzegovina during the outbreak of COVID-19 were present. Fear was present in 18.06%, and depression was present in 28.39% of their subjects. And it was statistically associated with age, gender, occupation, living environment, and may present a secondary uprising problem connected to the outbreak of COVID-19. So, in general, studies have shown that anxiety among Americans have shot up since the start of the pandemic, and WebMD has seen a 251% increase in searches for anxiety medication from April 8th to the 23rd, according to John White, Chief Medical Director of WebMD. Well, today I'd like to offer an antidote to worry, anxiety, stress, and fear. Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie Mori. I'm a 9-time #1 international best-selling author. I'm a book publisher, a book writing and publishing coach, and your host for today's value-packed virtual book launch for the book Fearless by a distinguished group of collaborative authors. Here's my copy of Fearless. Now, before we dive in, I want you to know that we'll be giving away bonuses during this broadcast. So for those of you watching live, there's going to be bonuses for you. Now, for those of you with us live, please type in the comments section where you are hanging out from. I'm hanging out from Seattle, suburbia. Where are you hanging out from? Please type it in the chat room or in the comments. And also, I'd like for you, those of us who are joining live or on the replay, please share this broadcast, because sharing is caring. And everyone that shares this virtual book broadcast, while we're broadcasting live, not those who are watching the replay, but while we're broadcasting live, will receive the PDF of this #1 international best-selling book, Divinely Designed, for free. But you have to email me, so I know that you shared. Email me. This is my email, jackiemori7@gmail.com. And if you do share this broadcast, and you email me, then I'm going to send you a free copy of the PDF of Divinely Designed. So please share this broadcast right now. There's a share arrow probably towards the bottom right of your video screen, or it could be somewhere else toward the right. So find that share button. And again, if you share it while we're broadcasting live, email me, and then I can send you the PDF of Divinely Designed for free. All right. Now, for everyone who buys Fearless, whether you're watching live or on the replay, there are bonuses waiting for you when you buy this book and write an Amazon review, preferably 5-star. Doesn't have to be, but preferably 5-star. So more on that later. You can remember, jot down this email, jackiemori7@gmail.com. I invite you to get your Kindle copy today of Fearless, because now through June 21, Fearless on the Kindle format, which is regularly priced at $5.99, it'll go up to from 99 cents right now. For a very limited time, it'll go back up to $5.99 midnight of June 22. And also, if you go to Amazon, let me show this to you on Amazon. The paperback format is $14.99. So click on the link in the comments or the description and get your copy of Fearless now, the Kindle copy, okay? All right. Now, let me tell you about my first guest, Gemma Bourbon. Gemma Bourbon is a worship leader and a prayer warrior at West Sydney Community Church, who is very passionate about mentoring young people of her local church, having been mentored herself during her younger years. She earned her degree in engineering in the Philippines, worked in the telecommunications industry, and then migrated to Australia in 1991. She is married to Noel. They live in Sydney and they share the blessing, love, and faith of their son, Jonathan, and daughter, Jennifer. I would like to welcome to the broadcast my good friend and collaborative author for Fearless, Jem Bourbon. How are you doing, Jem?
I'm great. Thank you, Jackie.
So,
Yay.
so good to be with you, Jem. Oh my word, it's been a while. I know the last time we talked was maybe when we launched Divinely Designed with Noel.
Yes.
Wow, it's been a long time, but I love interacting with you on Facebook. So thank you for your friendship across the miles, my dear. Well, let's
You're
dive in.
welcome.
Congratulations, by the way, you are now an international best-selling author, my dear Gemma.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
yeah, that's awesome. So, I want to ask you our first question. Now, Gemma, what adversity or obstacle, challenge, or experience did you write about in your chapter book that helped you move past any worry, anxiety, and fear toward courage?
Well, I guess I'm nervous. But anyway, I have mentioned a lot in my chapter book. To name them is about my fear of rejection, being judged, being criticized. But I think my highlight is the fear of being alone. And I have entitled my chapter book as My Journey from Fear to Freedom. And I have shared this brokenness and pain and feeling of being alone in my chapter book.
Mm. You know, your chapter book, Jem, was really powerful. I truly enjoyed reading your chapter book. I enjoyed, going through the story that you, because you share so many emotions, you shared your heart, you shared so vulnerably. So I just want to, first of all, acknowledge you for being very vulnerable and very authentic in your chapter book. If you want to know what authentic and vulnerable sounds like, read Jim Bourbon's chapter in this book, Fearless. It is powerful. Wow, thank you. Well, Jim, my next question is, how did you overcome the obstacle so that you could fear less or become fearless? Or how did you experience? Uh, how did the experience help you become fearless, please?
Well, Jackie, I know in my mind that I am not alone because I have been a Christian for so many years. But but then for me to overcome this fear of being alone is by recognizing it and by admitting it that I have this fear. So I have learned to call upon the name of the Lord and I have learned to pray through it. I I realized that this feeling of being depressed, of that is not, yeah, I'm feeling it's real. The feeling is real. I feel so alone, but
Yeah.
that's not the ultimate truth because the truth is God is always with me. So I have to call upon his name and trust his trust his presence, that he is always with me. So I have to choose him daily. I have to choose him moment by moment, recognizing his magnificent presence in my life. So that's where I overcome it and really, really trust and rest upon his love, that
Mm.
I am never alone.
Wow, that is so beautiful and powerful, Jim, because when you say that, yes, we acknowledge first that, yeah, I'm feeling this fear of being alone, but then you don't stay there.
Yes.
You put your eyes on the Lord, and from there, it's that moment by moment trusting in Him that has really helped you to overcome the fear of being alone, even though in your mind, I'm not alone, but sometimes you feel that. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yes,
so
it's good.
beautiful.
I have an amazing family. I have an amazing friends, but ultimately it is God's presence that he is always my companion every moment of my life.
Very true. Indeed. Amen to that. Wow, powerful. Well, Jim, I maybe this might be repetitive, but in any case, in your chapter book, what one strategy or principle did you write about that would help our readers to become more courageous or overcome adversities and eventually become fearless, or at least to fear less in whatever circumstance, please?
Well, in my chapter book, I wrote a lot of principles, but one thing that I would like to share is really I have learned to trust in His love.
Mm.
I have learned to trust in His magnificent, His loving presence in my life, and learn to trust His absolute word, His truth, that He says that He will be with me till the end of the world. So He's always been my companion, and I just learned to just trust His love. I meditated on Psalm chapter 8, and it speaks about His glory, His magnificent, His excellent name. And I meditated on it, and I realized how God and how awesome He is, that a frail, tiny, and significant, sinful creature like me, He just deeply loved me, and He deeply loves me, cares about me, and He's really mindful of me. And I love to gaze upon the skies and see the works of His fingers. And I just realized that I am so blessed because I have a loving God who is always with me. Yeah.
Mm, absolutely right. Wow. Thank you. That is so powerful. Everyone, what Jim shared is just so from the heart. So I want you to really, really get this book because it's only at 99 cents, the Kindle version, and read Jim's chapter book. I am telling you, you're going to come away really refreshed and hopeful and inspired. Well, before you go, Jim, I'm going to bring in your husband because that way, there we go. Come on in. There we go. Hi, Pastor Noel. How are you doing? Oh, wait. I think you're muted. Hang on. There you go. How are
Very
you?
good. I'm very good, Jackie. How are you?
Great. Thank you. Well, we have some comments. I want to feature some comments. Jo is the sister of our next interview after you, Noel, is with us live. So from the Philippines. Wow. Thank you for hanging out with us. And then Jeanette Marie Johnstone shared. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing this broadcast. We appreciate you. And you're hanging out from the UK? Wow. Thank you so much for hanging out from the UK. Wait a minute. What time is it over there? Let's see here. Probably oh my, I think it's getting late in the evening. I think it's closer to midnight. I'm not sure. But wow, I'm so glad you're with us, Jeanette. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. So anyway, let me just get back here and get back the there we go. Let's show that. So Jim, thank you so much for being with us. Please hang out with us in the green room, and I am going to bring you back after we interview Maret. Okay, thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
All right, let's see here. All right, cool. Well, allow me to introduce my next guest, Pastor Emmanuel Bourbon. Emmanuel or Noel Bourbon is associate pastor of West Sydney Community Church. Prior to this, he served in the same capacity at the Love of Jesus Christian Ministry, to where he was ordained to the ministry. He is bivocational, completed a degree in engineering, has been working in information technology for around 28 years. Noel lives with his family in Sydney, Australia. He and his wife, Gemma, are blessed with two grown children, Jonathan and Jennifer. Again, welcome to the broadcast, Noel.
Thank you, Jackie. Pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. Thank you. This is our second time collaborating on a book.
Indeed.
And so I'm just so honored that you have also decided to collaborate with us on this book, Fearless. And I want to show everyone there is Gemma and there's Pastor Noel right there in the back. There you go. Cool. Well, let's dive in because I know people are eager to hear what you have to share with them today. So, Noel, what adversity or obstacle, challenge, or experience did you write about in your chapter book that helped you move past any worry, anxiety, and fear and moved you toward courage?
Okay, Jackie, the title of my chapter is Strength of Heart. But if I were to use another title for it, I would call it One Step. And let me explain
Mm,
that. One step, that's the answer to your question. That's the obstacle that I had to go through, because in life we are most often taken at the threshold between fear and courage.
mm.
And it only takes one step to cross that line, and everything changes. And I highlighted it with a story in the beginning, the story of a teenage child. And I don't want to give much about give much about the give away the book, but yeah, that's the obstacle. It's just one step. So many
Wow.
challenges and obstacles that we come across in life, and once we reach that threshold, it's that one step that we need to take to move from fear to courage and victory.
My goodness, you put it so succinctly, and you brought it down from this big old ethereal. My goodness, I'm scared. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling worried. And then you said it's just going to be boiled down to just one step. Are you going to take that step forward? Whoa, I think that's powerful. Wow, thank you. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. I think that's absolutely powerful. My next question, Noel, is how did you overcome the obstacle to fear less or to become fearless?
Well, I did mention that I would have used one step, but since I'm limited to that one chapter, I could have written one step as my first chapter, and the second chapter would be strength of heart. But indeed, I
Mm,
focus on what happens to us actually before we take that one step. So that's how I overcame it. So to to be able to overcome it, for me, it is realizing, accepting, and making God the ultimate reality in life.
mm,
Because I believe that in order for that leg to move and take that one step, the only power that is available, as I have experienced, is God. And so once the strength of our heart is present through the power of God, then we would be able to move that leg and cross that threshold from fear to freedom, and from fear to victory, or from fear to whatever it is that God has for us.
mm. My goodness, that's such a definitely a wonderful way of how you actually moved from where you were, and that took that one step, and you said ultimately God is our foundation. He is the ultimate reality. I love that,
Yep.
Noel. Thank you so much. Wow. And now that you've shared that, now I'm not sure if this will be a um, similar answer, but in your chapter book, what one strategy or one principle did you write about that would help readers to become more courageous, overcome adversities, and eventually become fearless or to fear less in whatever circumstance?
So basically, in my own experience, I learned to know that communion precedes transformation. So you don't
Oh,
arrive at that threshold really prepared, wherein courage just comes in. So it doesn't work that way. I believe that it's the daily preparation, it's the moment by moment communion with God that prepares us for the challenges in life. So before we actually cross that threshold, we need to have that regular communion with God, because as I have mentioned earlier, it is communion that precedes transformation. So that when we arrive at threshold in uh, between the challenges and the obstacles in life, we already are prepared, because it has been the days, the years, the moments before arriving at that point in time that had prepared us. And truly, once we reach that, then we can rely on the strength that God has given to us. So that's probably what I could share to all our listeners now, to always commune with God every
mm,
single moment, every single day. There is a book that has been, it's called Practicing the Presence of God, and that's an amazing good, which simply means that we can practice His presence all the time, and then we will indeed have that courage to to cross that threshold of fear and then move towards the future. I remember a book that I gave to a friend many years ago, and in the back of that book it says, "Jump first, fear later." So forget about the fear, gather and master that courage, and strengthen your heart, and then you can just jump first. You can entertain the fear, but entertain it later.
Wow, what a powerful response. I mean, you tackled so many things, like, for example, communion, really communing with God on a daily basis. So it's not just, oh, I'm ready now to face this, but it's because you had prepared even long before that. And I think that's really such a powerful principle, Noel, because I mean, God will get wants us to get to the, promotes us to the next level after he knows that we are equipped enough to go to that next level. And he says, okay, now I want you to trust in me that I've equipped you, but you still need to trust me. And then that communion is so vital. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Noel. I really, really
Oh, you're
appreciate
welcome.
you. So many, many nuggets right there, everyone. So please get your copy right now because Pastor Noel's chapter is incredible. It is really compelling. So I invite you to get your Kindle copy today of Fearless because now through June 21, Fearless is on sale at 99 cents, US 99 cents for a limited time. And then it's going to go back up in price to $5.99. And also, I want to mention the first 10 who buy Fearless, the Kindle copy, and then write a positive Amazon review, you may email me. Let me get my email address here. Hang on a second. Email me at jackiemori7@gmail.com. And guess what I'm going to give you? If you buy the copy and then you write an Amazon review, a positive Amazon review, preferably 5-star, I'm going to give you the PDF of these two amazing books, Relentless, and also a book that my son and I wrote, The Amazing Book of Riddles, Jokes, Knock Knock Jokes, and Brain Teasers. So you buy a 99-cent book, Fearless, which is absolutely powerful and compelling and full of incredible strategies, principles, and wisdom that you can gain so you can become fearless. But not only that, after you buy it, write an Amazon review, then you email me, jackiemori7@gmail.com, and I'll give you the free PDF of these two books, Relentless, as well as the Joke and Riddles book that my son and I wrote. Well, thank you so much, Pastor Noel. We'll see you in just a
Oh,
little
you're
bit,
welcome.
and I'm going to just make a few announcements, and I'll bring our next interviewee on board. Okay, so if you are in the United States, if you go to, you don't need, by the way, you don't, even if you're not in the United States, anywhere worldwide, you don't need to own a Kindle device. You simply just download the free Kindle app on your smartphone, your laptop, desktop, mobile device, and then you can get your Kindle copy of Fearless. Okay. And again, those of you who take advantage of the bargain bottom rate of 99 cents for the Kindle version, it's going to go back up in price on June 21 to $5.99. Awesome. Well, I want to bring my next guest in. All right. And let me unmute you there. All right. Well, let me introduce my next guest. Maria Teresa Trono Legralde is the third of 5 children. She accepted Christ as her Lord and Savior when she was in high school. She has a Bachelor of Science in Fisheries, a Master of Science in Aquaculture. She has held positions as technical consultant, project appraiser, evaluator, and also technical trainer for selected aquaculture training courses. Marette migrated to New Zealand in 2010 and recently finished her online studies in project management. I'd like to welcome to the broadcast Marette Legralde. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm well. I'm fine. Thank you, Jackie. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much.
That's
I am
good.
very, very, by the way, you're hanging out in New Zealand and our previous
Yes.
guests are in Sydney in so what's
Oh
the
yeah,
time difference
Gemma.
between difference between Sydney and Auckland?
I think it's 2 hours if I'm
2
right.
hours. So
Yeah.
you're ahead.
I'm ahead.
You're ahead. Ah, got
Yes.
it. Cool. Well, I want to congratulate you for becoming an international best-selling author of
Thank
this
you.
book, Fearless. And let's dive in, Marit. First question, because I'm sure you have so much to share. What adversity or obstacle, challenge, or experience did you write about in your chapter book that helped you move past any worry, anxiety, and fear toward courage?
To consider and decide in migrating was the challenge that I shared in this chapter book. It was difficult because it did not involve only myself. It involved my whole family. We decided to move as a family. We did not have a vast network of friends established in New Zealand. We did not have enough funds or resources to start with. Last but not the least, we did not have New Zealand qualifications, no work experience with international companies based in the Philippines, and no job offer in spite of the fact that we did apply while we were in the Philippines. In other words, you may call it a gamble. However, in saying this, it was also my children's future, which was the biggest factor that challenged me to try migrating.
Mm, my goodness, that is such a big challenge indeed. Moving
Yeah.
from one country to another, not just
Yes.
by yourself, but your whole family. Oh, my
Mm,
word.
mm,
My God. Wow. So given that, Maret,
mm.
how did you overcome this challenge or obstacle to fear less or to become
Okay.
fearless?
Okay. Overcoming this challenge involved a lot of determination and grit to accomplish the goal, which is citizenship. Okay. We were fully and totally invested, and that actually meant we needed to run and finish the race strong. But what really made the difference that helped me overcome the fear that comes with the challenge is my total surrender and trust in God in this journey. I was totally dependent on His counsel, His comfort in difficult times. And it was actually in those difficult times where God did the impossible, where God reinforced His truth and His promises, His love and His peace. Um, this is actually like one step higher towards trusting His direction and presence. It's like graduating from one grade to the next higher level. So each God experience I related in the chapter book
Mm.
served as building blocks of trust in God. Now, since I have a reference in the past of how God delivered me, I can always look forward to what God can do next should there be situations that would possibly make me fearful. You get to
Mm.
know Him better by surrender and trust every step of the way. As the song goes, if the Lord did it in the past, He can do it again for His good purposes in your life and for His glory.
Mm. Absolutely right. Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. Yes. Wow, it's like when you've had these experiences, then they become these milestones, or
Yes,
maybe like in the Old Testament, they talk about building these altars or monuments to the
yes,
glory of
yes.
God that remind you, oh,
Mm,
this is what he did, this is who he is, this is what he can do. Wow.
yep,
That
yep.
helps
That's
move
right.
forward. Wow, thank you. That's powerful. Now, oh, not this one. Yeah. So, in your chapter book, Merit, what one strategy or principle did you write about that would help readers of the book Fearless to become more courageous, to overcome adversities, and even become fearless or to fear less in whatever circumstance?
Okay. I think the strategy that God helped me learn and apply was to always fix my eyes on Him. It's a deliberate consciousness of His presence, His goodness. That is why my life verse is Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. It says there, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And for me to remember that He is present wherever I go, for me to remember His deliverance, His works, His answers to my prayers, I write them. I
Mm,
journal them. I call that in my book Monuments of Remembrance.
mm,
Each rema that God has impressed upon my heart for very specific situations gave me a reference to look back of who God is in my life. It's like what one author wrote. He said there, writing his story of my life. It's like documenting what God has done. However fearful or difficult the situation is, my God will be with me wherever I go. Again, it's not to say that I do not know fear, but it is to declare I have confidence in the sovereign God who loves me and who is with me wherever I go.
Wow, that is so beautiful, Mara. Thank you so much because it really shows how deep your relationship is, such that it's you are immovable no matter what happens because you're focused, you've fixed your eyes, you've intentionally, consciously made the choice and
Mhm.
decision to fix your eyes upon the one who created it all, the one who
Yes,
holds you in the palm of his hand, and the
yes,
one who cares about you so much more deeply than anyone else in the
yes.
whole universe.
That's
Wow.
right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
That's
you. That
right.
is so powerful. Whew, my word. Okay. Well, before I bring everyone in, I just want to again share that the first 10 who buy Fearless and write a positive Amazon review, preferably 5-star, you may email me at jackiemori7 at gmail.com and I'll send you the PDF of the two books, Relentless, for free, as well as the amazing book of of riddles, jokes, knock knock jokes, and brain teasers. So you buy Fearless, one book, you get 3 total books, right? As long as you write a positive review and then you email me, jackiemori7 at gmail.com. Awesome. Well, let me bring Gemma and let me bring Noel. And let's unmute everyone here. And let me take out the widget there. So hide all. There we go. Wonderful. It's so good to be with all of you. Oh, let's feature one more comment. Your sister Jo says, I love you, Ate Maret. We miss you. Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us live, Jo. All right. Well, let's just play some music before we part. And I want to take don't leave because I want to take a picture of all of us, So hang on a second. So here we go. Technical issues. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Get your copy of Fearless. It's only at 99 cents from now until June 22, midnight of June 22. And it goes back up in price to $5.99. Congratulations to all my guests today. That you are now international best-selling authors. And thank you for sharing your hearts. Thank you for sharing all your wisdom with us. We really appreciate you. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Good to be with you and have a fantastic weekend. Lord bless you. Bye.
God
Bye,
bless you,
everyone.
Jackie.
Bye.